Hey everybody, Brandon Clifford here, Global Franchise Solutions, a franchise consulting firm specializing in playing matchmaker, connecting people to great franchise opportunities. And today we got a little bit of a change of pace. Probably the biggest stumbling block that my clients come across is figuring out how are we going to pay for this. Okay, so I try to pride myself on really working with some top-notch quality partners, members of my team that can help solve all these problems for you to get you to the finish line and you reach your goal of owning a franchise. So to talk funding with us today, I have one of my trusted advisors on this topic. I have Al Lesko from Fund My Franchise. Hey Al, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, and thanks for the opportunity, Brandon.
Awesome, excited to have you here. Clear up some misconceptions and let people get to know you a little bit. So before we get into funding, to jump right in here, I want to let us talk a little bit about yourself. So tell us a little about you and how you got involved in franchising.
Well, okay, yeah, I actually cut my teeth in the auto industry, and I went to work for the sixth largest chain of car dealerships in the country in the operations division. And what I found was I loved working with people and helping them be successful, but what I didn't like was traveling all the time and living out of a suitcase. And one of the things that I thought was important is I wanted to expand and get into my own business, but I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. So I looked at franchising, and through that process, I heard about franchise consulting, and I thought that was interesting, and it kind of filled that void that I was looking for. Got involved in that, and then expanded into franchise funding when I found a niche, which was basically to inform and involve the clients more in getting funded for a business and all of the unique opportunities out there. So my business has morphed in many different ways, and that's how I got there.
Nice. And I think that your background, in franchising as a consultant ahead of time makes you, a really good resource for people who are specifically investigating franchise opportunities and looking for funding for them. And your company is called Fund My Franchise. Fundmyfranchise.com is where they can learn a little bit more. But obviously, in the lending space, there's tons of competition. Lots of lenders out there that want to earn people's business. So what makes your company a little bit different?
That's an excellent point, and that is absolutely true. What makes our company different? Many of these lending institutions are really focused on putting the client in what they offer, their services. Also, they don't necessarily get involved in the loan process, and in many times they package the loan. I think that's the right word for it, and they ship it off to another bank. So there's no personalized service. What we like to do is we're involved and we have relationships directly with the banks, the ones that offer the loans and fund the loans, the SBA loans. We're directly involved as a one-stop shop with the 401k IRA rollover, otherwise known as ROBS. We also help clients once they've been in business to get the unsecured lines of business credit they're going to need to run their business and to expand their business and position themselves to be in line to expand through an SBA loan through the business and not through their own personal assets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. You really take a real holistic approach, I guess, to lending. You're there for the life of the business. I think that's great. And now, obviously, when people are making a major purchase, they're familiar with buying a home or buying a car. And a lot of times people hear the word, you get pre-qualified for those kind of loans. Now, it's also possible to get pre-qualified for a business loan, correct?
It is. Pre-qualified is a word. To truly to analyze that, what really happens is what we like to do, and I think it again goes back to the niche, is we want to learn about the client. We want to position them in the right eyes for the bank, and we want to tell the banks what they need to know and not anything more than that. So to pre-qualify, we typically ask for like a resume. We want to know a little bit about their financials. We want to make sure that they've run a recent credit report. And then what we do is we go right directly to the VP of the bank and we tell their story. And we talk about the franchise they're looking at. And what we can do is make sure that that bank is interested in that franchise and with that person and will fund them and what the terms are. It's a big advantage because it saves a lot of time and effort, and they get the loan with the right bank.
Yeah, and that way you don't go down the whole process. Like, of due diligence on a franchise could take 2 months. And then at the end, if you haven't done your due diligence on whether or not you can afford it or whether or not you can get finance, you just wasted a lot of time, So get that done early in the process, you'd probably advise, right?
Yeah, you know, it's funny, Brandon, and the way we work together, I think it's important to get going right on the funding and find out what you may qualify for right away.
Hmm.
And that's very helpful to you. It's very helpful to the client. So they don't spend a lot of time focusing on something they may not qualify for, or they'll know exactly what they can qualify for. Many
Hmm.
times I run into clients that think they won't qualify for a specific loan, but they actually will. And
Hmm.
that's what we focus on. And we work very closely with the franchise consultants in doing that.
Great, thank you. And now I know this is a topic you could probably talk all day about because it's a product that you believe in. You've actually used it yourself, but you touched upon it a little bit before, the 401k rollover, the rollover for business startup. Want to kind of educate us just a little bit about what that's about and then how someone would know if they qualify for one?
Yeah, I absolutely will. And I have used it for myself to fund my second business. What I find interesting about it is most people have a 401k or an IRA saving toward their eventual retirement. What's interesting about the ROBS program is you can actually diversify your portfolio and have, and I should say, establish a new 401k account that actually invests in your business, buy stock in your business. It's a great way to not take on as much debt, to diversify your portfolio. You can still make investments through your custodial account and stay in compliance with the IRS without any tax penalties whatsoever. The bigger issue to that, and the real advantage is, it also allows you to save in a 401k through your company, offer it as a benefit out there to your clients, and then when you eventually sell the business, you're going to save because your capital gains tax is minimized because most of that is that stock is held by your company. I'm sorry, by your 401k account. So that means it would go back into the 401k account.
Mhm.
Really think it's a great strategy because it allows you to save, reduce the amount of debt you need to go into the business, and protect your assets as far as how hard you've worked when you eventually sell your business as part of your exit strategy.
Awesome. Great overview. So, like I said, I know that's a product that you really believe in, and you could probably talk about that for a full hour. So, if I am someone that was thinking about investing in a business, and that's the route we want to go, how can we learn more? Let us know how we can find you out.
Well, that's great. I mean, I've got a lot of information on my website, or you could call me directly. My number, 541-831-0071, and we can discuss it. And what we would do is spend about an hour with the client going over the pros and cons of the plan. There are very few cons. You'll hear some things, or if you do some research on your own, you read stuff on the internet, it's not accurate. So we spend a lot of time doing that, and that's what I would recommend, is going over it and then actually sitting down. At times we'll sit down with a client's CPA or a financial advisor and talk about the plan and how it could be a benefit.
Mhm. Great. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time today, Al. Like I said, guys, Brandon Clifford from globalfranchisesolutions.com, highlighting one of the most difficult parts of a franchise investigation to navigate, which is funding. So please reach out to Al at fundmyfranchise.com if you want to learn more, or obviously shoot me a message and I can connect you with him along the way. All right. Thanks a lot, Al. Have a great day.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity. You have a great day as well.
Bye.